Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Project Assemble. I am Nate from Thwip Media, joined by Dwayne from Marvel Mad. How are you doing today?
Not too bad, my friend. Not too bad. Been very productive week and that lot with recordings going off of probably about 2-3 weeks in advance. And that lot, so really gung ho sort of thing with everything. So it's really nice. I'm recovering from my wrestling rave that I had a couple of weeks ago as well, and I thought that was just amazing. So yeah, it's just getting back to normal now, normal morality sort of thing. How about yourself?
Yeah, doing well. My second semester's almost over, so it's pretty busy right now, and
But yeah,
by the end of next week, I will pretty much be done. So then it's a 4-month vacation basically after that. So
nice.
yeah, I'm ready for a break because it has been crazy the last few weeks. Um,
Damn.
so yeah,
Did you have one more year after this, or?
one more year. Yeah,
Oh, okay, that's not too bad then.
so almost there, but especially this like the last few weeks have been crazy, and I'm just like I need a break.
Yeah.
I'm in such need of just relaxing. Don't have to worry about submitting anything or doing anything like that. Just take in the free time and all that.
Yeah,
So
bless you.
and focus back on the channel too because I haven't really put out as much as I had been planning to.
Oh,
I know
bless
in
you.
the last episode I mentioned a Magneto video which I still haven't
Yeah.
filmed yet. It's ready. I just haven't filmed it yet.
Oh,
Um,
bless you.
so yeah, I'm still covering Daredevil though. So that's really all I've had out
Yeah.
since that last episode that we had.
Well, it's very good at the moment. I can't wait to get a bit more into deep to that, but we'll save
Yep.
that for another time.
Yeah, we'll save all our thoughts on Daredevil for our review. But yeah, so today we're going to be talking about the Avengers Doomsday cast reveal. This is the first batch of the cast. We'll get more in depth onto what that means. And
Mm.
yes, we're a little late to it. It's been a week and a half, couple weeks since that's been released. And we're also going to be talking about Spider-Man 4 with a new title. So we'll get into that. And yeah, it's pretty much all we're getting in today. But before we get started, make sure to subscribe to my channel, Thwip Media. Subscribe to Dwayne's channel, Marvel Mad. And make sure to follow all our social channels and subscribe to the Project Assemble Discord server. Everything's linked below, so you can check them all out there. And yeah, I think we'll get right into it. So we'll start with the Doomsday cast. So that was huge when that happened.
Oh yeah.
There were
Oh
little inklings online of some major announcement that was coming from Marvel that, to quote other things I'd seen, was going to be even bigger than the RDJ announcement
yeah.
as Doom, which looking back on this, you're like, I don't know.
No, no, not for me. But
Yeah. There are aspects to it that are much
mm.
bigger, but it's not, you know, I think the Doctor Doom reveal was way bigger than what any of this was.
Oh, massively.
So yeah, it was a really interesting thing. They started putting out one chair, and then 10 minutes later, the next one, the next one. It just went on for 5+ hours. And yeah, a lot of people were not happy by the end of it. But what were your overall thoughts on how they did this reveal?
My overall thoughts was pissed, to be honest. I was fuming that lot. I just thought, oh yeah, they'll get it, they'll do it quicker and quicker, sort of thing. And it was just, I think it started at like 3 o'clock. So I just started the
Yeah.
school run to go and pick Eleanor up and that lot, and I couldn't but not check my phone just to see who did like announce next sort of thing. I was constantly refreshing it, and it got to like 4, half 4, and I thought, right, I've got to just leave this because surely it's got to be finishing soon now. Like, and I was really annoyed. But then I just every 20 minutes, half hour, I was still checking and still checking. And like people are saying, for 5.5 hours, they had you glued to bloody chairs,
Yes.
which I never would have thought they'd have been able to actually done. But they got us, and it was good. It was quite unique in a way, and I love. But I do think, especially for some of the characters or some of the actors, they should have had more Pacific sort of chairs. Like they did it with Paul Rudd.
Yeah, that one was
So
good.
yeah, exactly. So they could have easily done it for some of the other actors, sort of thing.
Yeah, I think for the most part, like, I know a lot of people have been very negative on this, of like, they wasted 5 hours of our lives basically for watching chairs. It's their most viewed live stream ever. So it did have
Oh, is
some
it?
impact. Yeah,
Damn.
over 27 million views across all social media platforms. I'm pretty sure.
Jesus. Wow.
So it was effective. It's just, I think over that course of time, maybe even 30 minutes in, you have to be questioning to yourself, what more is going to happen than what we've already seen? Like by that point, you've only seen maybe 3, 4 people announced.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know. Because I didn't watch it as it was happening because I was in class. And when I got back, I was like, oh shit, this just released. Like, I'm going to have to do something about this. And I haven't yet. But yeah, it just kept going and kept going. Like nothing really was changing other than more
No.
chairs being thrown in. Like there was no kind of, I don't know, like appeal really. Like there wasn't any kind of like, oh my god kind of thing happening.
Yeah.
There were for the
One
names,
thing I
but there weren't any like flashy things happening or anything like that. It was
yeah.
just names.
What kept on getting me though is the music they had with each individual name and that lot.
That was a
Like
nice
it was
touch.
sort of yeah, it was
Yeah.
sort of what's the word? Sort of specific to that character sort of
Yeah.
thing. Which I really liked that lot sort of thing, which sort of kept me guessing just before the chair was announced. I was like, oh, that music's such and such ones. Oh, is it gonna be this character? And sometimes I was right, sometimes I was wrong on that. So I did quite like that. That was a nice little touch. But other than that, there was literally nothing else. It
Yeah.
was just the music and chairs. And I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah. I think like I don't know if this was the best way to do this.
No.
It was certainly one way to do it, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I personally, I appreciate knowing where it's going, but I would have
Yeah.
been completely fine still being blind on
Yeah.
who's in this movie. I would have
I'd have
still
took
been
a
completely
minimal.
fine with not even knowing, like, I'll get into the list, but
Yeah.
certain characters that were, like, huge surprises. I would have been completely fine waiting until seeing the movie to have those people revealed. I don't think it really adds that much right now. It
No.
just creates a lot of questions, which then could set expectations for the movie that can then make you disappointed afterwards. It's, I don't know, it's a tricky situation.
Yeah, so I'd have just took like maybe 5 or 6 actors, like Robert Downey Jr., say the cast of Fantastic Four, and then like Anthony Mackie, Joaquin Torres, and I don't know, maybe Tom Hiddleston or some of that like that sort of thing. No, Chris Hemsworth, that lot. I'd have took them. That was it. That's all. That's all you needed. That lot. So to have all the others, yeah, it was wicked. That lot. It was absolutely brilliant to see. But like you said, I'd have loved to have just literally gone into that cinema, looked up, and gone, "Oh my absolute lord, it's such and such that lot."
Yeah.
That for me, that'd have been 10 times better than knowing now. Even though now, brilliant, but it wouldn't even so much better in the cinema.
Yeah. And you have to question, are they announcing these because this is just the tip of the iceberg on who's going to be in this movie? Or is it like they don't care at this point? They're just like, everyone, this will give you something to look forward to in the movie.
For me, I think it's just the tip of the iceberg because they've given so many hints since, like at CinemaCon. I
Yep.
think there was Kevin Feige saying we've announced some of the cast, but there's a whole lot more that nobody knows about, sort of thing. And for me, fine, don't do another 5.5 hour bloody chair thing,
Yeah.
please. If you're going to do another announcement, sort of thing, do it in half hour or half that time at least, or something. But I will gladly just go into it knowing that's your cast so far. Whatever else is just a more added surprise sort of thing. Because like when they announced in the thing is that like was it the majority or most of the Thunderbolts? For me, that gives a massive negative effect towards the Thunderbolts now. For
That's
me,
what a lot of people were saying too, is that now we know that the Sentry is a super powerful character. And like I'll get into the list in a little just in a second, but kind of lowers what the stakes of that movie could deliver now. And at a certain point, you're like, okay, like maybe this movie's going to end kind of in the same way Captain America Brave New World did, where they're just like, hey, settle down. Like, you don't have to be a bad guy, just calm down.
Yeah.
And it happens. Or they have to defeat them, but reform them in some way too.
Yeah.
And it'll make more sense after I say the list, but it puts a giant question mark on, I'd say, Thunderbolts, and especially Doomsday, on how they're going to handle that set of characters, with the kind of, I don't know if you'd say grounded, like a more grounded kind of story for Thunderbolts, even though there's a super powerful villain in it. But all of those characters are like, there's three super soldiers, one ex-Black Widow, one phaser, if that's what you would say, and then I guess another ex-Black Widow. There's not really, I don't know. It doesn't set up a, I guess, big appeal as the original Avengers did. Like you had Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, Thor. Everyone was going wild for that. For this lineup, you have a set of characters that could easily die in Thunderbolts, but now we know none of them will.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Yeah, which it doesn't add to the suspense at all. Like all the snippets and trailers and stuff that I've seen of the Thunderbolts does look really good. I'm quite looking forward to it, but it still gives that added, like, well, it don't mean anything. Like, they're all going to probably survive now and that lot, and they're going to get out unscathed. So what was the point of announcing them? Yep. Surely they should have been easily kept to one side until afterwards, sort of thing. It made so much more sense to do that, I think, anyway. Like, you could, I don't mind them announcing the Fantastic Four lot. That completely makes sense.
Yeah.
But why Thunderbolts?
I don't know. We'll have to see once we get more information. But I'll get into the list of the characters that were introduced or named in this live stream. So there was Chris Hemsworth as Thor, of course. Vanessa Kirby's Invisible Woman. Anthony Mackie's Captain America. Sebastian Stan, the Winter Soldier. Letitia Wright as Shuri. Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. Wyatt Russell as the U.S. Agent. Tenoch Huerta Mejia, hope I'm pronouncing that right, as Namor. Eben Moss Backrack as The Thing. Simu Liu as Shang-Chi. Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova. Kelsey Grammer's Beast. Louis Pullman's Sentry. Danny Ramirez as Falcon. Joseph Quinn, the Human Torch. David Harbour as Red Guardian. Winston Duke as M'Baku. Hannah John Kamen as the Ghost. Tom Hiddleston's Loki. And then this is where shit kind of started to hit the fan. So Patrick Stewart's Professor X. Ian McKellen's Magneto. Alan Cummings' Nightcrawler. Rebecca Romaine's Mystique. James Marsden's Cyclops. Channing Tatum's Gambit. Pedro Pascal's Mr. Fantastic. And of course Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. So you had every Thunderbolt except the one character that we pretty much are guaranteed are not going to make it out, which is Taskmaster. So yeah, that's a big set of characters. That was, I think it was 27? 27.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So it's like, how many more people are going to be in this movie?
Exactly that lot. It's going to be a nuts lot. I was trying to think back to the amount that was in Endgame and that lot, and just thinking back to them, that must have been a good, 30? Maybe more, that lot sort of thing?
Yeah, I'd say 30 to 40 maybe.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you've got these added new lot now, there's the 27, God knows how many more you're going to be thinking to add on sort of thing next. It's going to be nuts, that lot.
And that's including X-Men characters too.
That's what I mean. That last, 6, 7 sort of thing, that just got me even more like, oh damn, sort of thing. Honestly, I was like floored by the end of it, sort of thing. But no, it's all got to Pedro Pascal, and I was like, well, yeah, that makes sense. And I was like, well, they can't announce anybody else apart from Robert Downey Jr. a lot. And then obviously he walks on that sort of thing. Which, like I was saying, I messaged you and that lot. Should have had it in Doom's Throne, like you said, that lot.
Yeah.
Should have easily been in Doom's Throne, that lot.
It should have either just been the chair with him in the suit, or you actually like
Yeah.
have it all lead up to a throne that they have built
Yeah.
for the set, and he goes and sits in the throne with the mask maybe, and he just looks at it.
Yeah, or just holds it like that, it's just
Yeah.
on the side, sort of thing,
Yeah,
all day long. Like
they
even for
could have done that.
Professor X should have been his wheelchair. Even
that would have been smart. Yeah.
So I mean, the Professor X's wheelchair have like I don't know a tree-looking chair sort of thing for Tom Hiddleston as Loki because he's
Yeah.
the creator of the tree and that lot. They did it. That's what I mean. What winds you up is they did it for Paul Rudd. They could have done it for so many more and all that sort of thing. Like the biggest surprise for me that I did not expect to be even anywhere near this film is the character that plays Namor.
Tenoch Huerta. Yeah. That's the big one for me.
I don't get how he fits in. I really don't that lot. Unless it's the link with the mutants that lot. That's the only thing I can think of.
It's either that or it's they go to Shuri asking for help, and because Shuri now has an alliance with Talokan,
oh yeah,
that's how
maybe.
they
He's
kind
just
of
there.
yeah. Because my next question, what you kind of led into, is what was the biggest surprise announcement for this, and I think mine as well is Namor. How this isn't a character they've forgotten about. Like the Russos, the Russos are taking a character that it's like the reverse. They introduced Black Panther in Civil War, then Ryan Coogler took over Black Panther in his own movie. Ryan Coogler introduced Namor in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Now the Russos are taking him over. So I'm very interested to see how they're going to interpret this character under this direction, and what kind of role he's going to play in the story, because obviously he needs water to be able to really do much. So everything that they fight in is going to have some kind of water, or he's going to be useless, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
You saw what him being on land and in the heat did to him. He barely did anything. So you're going to have to either retcon that, or you have to have an excuse for them to fight alongside a body of water for him to do anything.
I was going to say, do you think he's going to have a bigger impact, or do you think he's going to be a just...
I don't know about impact. Like, I don't think he's dying.
Okay.
This is a lot. These are a lot of characters to balance. Yeah. And Infinity War was a big test, and they nailed it on how to balance all those characters. In this, it's a lot more, I'd say, that you need to balance. And with what could be potentially a very convoluted story and a very rushed story, it might be a bit messy. So we'll see how the balance all works. But yeah, like we said before, this is the first batch of announcements. Feige said more is coming. He commented, as of recording this yesterday, at CinemaCon for Disney's panel, he said, the Avengers, Fantastic Four, the Wakandans, the Thunderbolts, and the original X-Men are uniting to take down Doctor Doom. So you can expect a whole lot more characters. But the one team he didn't mention were the Guardians.
Oh, yeah.
So that tells me none of the Guardians of the Galaxy are going to be in this. I know Chris Pratt has been asked about it because he was at CinemaCon, and he said they are going to make good on the promise of the legendary Star-Lord will return. He just isn't saying if he's going to be in it yet or if he's going to be in Secret Wars. So, yeah, that's the big question mark, is who else could possibly be in this movie?
Exactly. For me, I literally can't think. Unless, are you going to say some of the Eternals are coming back?
No, I think they are done. They're a one and done. That was a failed experiment on their part.
I'm hoping it's a one and done straight away. That lot.
No, I don't think they're going to be in it. But my next one, who as a single character would you say is the biggest omission from this first batch?
Oh, yes, sod. Biggest omission from it.
Because my I've got mine, and I'm very surprised by it actually because I don't know if we should trust all the reports, especially with the Benedict Cumberbatch reports that he was in it, or that he wasn't in it. Now he is. Chris Evans was in it,
Oh,
and
then
now
he
he isn't.
weren't.
But Tom Holland, he's the biggest one for me.
No, I don't think it is. Not for this first one.
Okay, okay.
No, I could see him more for Secret Wars, but I didn't think for this one. For me, probably it's Doctor Strange. Actually, thinking about it,
That's
because
another one.
surely he'd need. For me, surely he'd need to be in this one for it to all go tits up and that lot, and then for him to right everything wrong in the next one, sort of thing. That's what I can visualize it anyway, sort of thing. Because for me, he's supposed to be a main character, main player.
Yep.
So to be brushed to one side and just gone, we'll think about it. It's like,
Yeah, either he's in the next batch or
he's got to be.
that report of him not being in it is actually true, and he had to come out and say, yeah, sorry, I'm in it, to kind of hide the fact that he isn't in it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to trust anything at this point. So,
Yeah, just a bit.
like I said, mine was Tom Holland just because there were reports that he was filming this and Spider-Man basically at the same time.
Oh, okay.
But I guess now that isn't the case until we see the next batch, and if he isn't in it, then that tells us that Spider-Man 4 could be happening either as a prequel to Doomsday or at the same time as Doomsday, and he's not involved with whatever's happening, which is kind of hard to believe. I think
I don't know.
it could work. It's just you'd think that he would be one of the people they would reach out to fight Doom. So it's going to be interesting to see why he isn't involved with this, if that's the case.
But if it could be a blessing in disguise, because if he's not involved with it yet, we might touch wood, finally be getting that grounded Spider-Man film.
Hopefully,
That's the only thing I'm clinging on to.
Yeah, and we'll get into that, but yes, that would be definitely a hitting blessing for that. So I put together a list of the top 5 characters that I would like to see be introduced in the next batch, and I'll give you some time to think about it.
Right, yeah, because I'm going to need to think about that one.
So my list, while you're thinking about it, is Anna Paquin's Rogue. I think she has to be in it. Yeah. Halle Berry's Storm.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, of course.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel and Hulk.
Yeah.
With the way the Marvels ended, you need Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And I think you need one of the OG Avengers with Thor, and I think Hulk is the most logical one.
Yeah. No, I could take that sort of thing. Right, so off the top of my head, just thinking of Doctor Strange.
Yep.
Surely got to be in that lot. Only to go with Channing Tatum, because it makes not sense to have him and not the other one, that lot. Deadpool.
Okay.
And then if you're going to have Deadpool, you've got to have Wolverine.
Yeah.
So you have Wolverine in there, that lot. Oh, dear. And then 2 more. Jesus wept.
You've got X-Men, you got Avengers, you've got, I guess, not much Thunderbolts you can choose from now.
No, yeah. Oh, do you?
Wakandans.
No, because you've already got Baku, ain't you, as well in that lot.
Yeah, but there's Nakia, there's Okoye.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, because if they're bringing back all the old sort of OG ones and that sort of thing, would you bring another Mr. Fantastic?
Oh,
would you bring back the original
Ian Gruffin
as Mr. Fantastic?
As the Maker.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Oh, yeah, they are. There's my 4th pick.
I would rather have the Miles Teller, Mr. Fantastic as the Maker, though, because from Fant Four Stick, because then it would be.
Oh no, that makes sense. Yeah,
like that universe went to shit because the movie was shit, and he gets to redeem himself as potentially a gigantic villain.
Yeah,
That would be
that would
awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be really nice. I'd take that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then I might have to pinch yours to be honest. Instead of Hulk,
I mean, it just
for
makes
me,
sense.
like, yeah, it makes sense for him to come
Yeah.
back. And he was the one that snapped everybody back into existence. He's still there, around, sort of thing. So yeah, so Deadpool, Wolverine, Mr. Fantastic. Crap, what does it say?
You said
Deadpool,
Doctor
Wolverine.
Strange.
Oh, Doctor Strange,
Yeah.
and then Hulk. They're my five. Christ, that was. Oh, I had to think that one. That was a hard one. That one.
Yeah, there's
Oh
so many
dear.
people to choose from. But yeah, it's definitely a crazy time leading up to this. Like they start shooting this month I'd say by next week we should have set photos of people on the set. I've seen one as of recording this today of like an environment that they've built with a bunch of craters everywhere.
Oh, okay. I seen those celebrating Pedro Pascal's birthday.
Yeah, I saw that one. It's
So
actually
I seen that.
it's actually Robert Downey Jr.'s 60th birthday today.
Yeah.
So we have
Yeah.
a 60-year-old Doctor Doom in the MCU, which is kind of crazy.
I never realized he was that old as well. Now, like he don't look it.
No, he's
He
doing
really
well.
don't look
He's
it,
doing
like,
very well. It's just,
ridiculously good.
again, I go back to he's not going to be this character past Secret Wars. He can't.
No.
There's no way. You have to go to someone in their 30s or 40s as
Yeah.
Doom after that if you want a longevity with this character.
You got to. Yeah, you got to. You can't have him just. What, he's here for 2.5 years and he's done.
I mean,
You can't be doing that.
Ian McKellen's almost 90 and he's being
Well,
brought back as
yeah.
Magneto, so that's going to be very interesting.
That Deadpool joke that I was saying, you're going to be playing these characters till you're 90.
Yep.
He said it, he called it.
Yep, because we can't let go of these actors, I guess
No.
that's the case. Okay, here's, just because I brought up Ian McKellen, what do you think would happen if they introduced a chair of James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender,
Oh,
Nicholas Hoult, Jennifer Lawrence, like all of the newer X-Men actors in addition to the original X-Men? I want to
that'd be
see
cool.
Fassbender so bad back as Magneto.
yeah, because I think he did brilliant as Magneto, to be honest. There was a few bright sparks of that series, and he was one of them. There was not much else. He was one of them. But yeah, that would be cool. I'd enjoy that, to be honest, because that interaction, looking at more like that sort of thing, it'll be so wicked to see that.
Yeah.
Like they sort of seen him points. I didn't the old Professor X and the new Professor X meet, and the old and new Magneto.
Oh, and
meet as
Days
well
of Future
somewhere.
Past?
I won't be able to tell you.
I
they all
know-
merged into one, so it's just.
I know Patrick Stewart and James McAvoy had a scene together in Days of Future Past because it was Charles communicating with his past self in the future.
Yeah.
But other than that, they haven't really shared anything
Oh, is
together.
it just that one? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That'd still be good though. I'd be 100% up for that.
Yeah. But this brings up another question. Why are the X-Men in this one instead of Secret Wars? Especially these ones. These are variants, I guess we can call them, of the past movies because, like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are variants of Spider-Man, and they're also past iterations of the character that we've seen. So why are they in this and not just Secret Wars?
Right, for me, my thought process when I seen all these was these lot are gonna die in Doomsday.
Okay.
All the original X-Men are gonna die in Doomsday. Apart from, I still think they're gonna keep Gambit, Deadpool, and Wolverine. I do think they'll appear and they'll survive, and then in Secret Wars, or be alluded to in Secret Wars, you'll have a hint of actual 616's X-Men, and then you might get a new casting of either them there, or there'll be the odd one or two, like a new Patrick Stewart, a new Professor X, a new Magneto, that leading in to like the next phase and have the mutant saga sort of thing. That's
Okay.
what I think of, because I don't think they're surviving this film. Even with how much power and ferocity they've all got, I don't think they're surviving this film.
No, I don't think there's any way they survive. I mean, I don't know if all of them will, but some of them I think will survive, and then in Secret Wars they're definitely done.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone is playing any of their characters again post Secret Wars except for, I guess, most of the younger ones.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, the only other reason I could think of is that Doom is going around the multiverse and he's basically just destroying worlds. And the X
mm,
Men's are one of them, and they have to run over to 616 to
yeah,
survive. And then that's when the Avengers find them, and they're like, "Who the heck are you?" That's how the Fantastic Four will come in.
yeah.
But again, we don't know until we've seen Fantastic Four, because will Galactus destroy their world, and that's when they make the hop, or is Doctor Doom gonna do something in the post-credit scene? Like, I think after Fantastic Four, we will have a much clearer answer
Oh
on
yeah,
how the X-Men will make the jump.
massively.
Um, it's just, I don't know. I think it would have been better if they were in Secret Wars. So this
Yeah,
movie is purely just to build the Avengers, because again, we still don't have that team.
nope,
We will have
not at
no
all.
kind of relationship in getting to care for this new team. They're just all getting shoehorned into one movie, and it's just going to be a lot to process, I think, in the moment. And it's not going to have the same effect as what the other ones did.
No, there's no heart or character or like willingness for them to survive something like in Infinity War to Endgame. I've just recently rewatched Infinity War, and all them characters, every single one of them, when they all get dusted, you are gutted
Yep.
about them. You are just devastated and everything. Now, when something similar like that is going to happen in this, you're not even going to be bothered. You're just going to, oh well, another one bites the dust. It's,
Yeah, basically.
it's literally it. It's like they so needed a lot more time for it to build up, sort of thing. Like you might be gutted that some of the, like Nightcrawler, for example, and a lot. I could see him just sort of thing. The OG characters like that, you might be feeling a bit like, oh my god, I can't believe they've done that. He's a brilliant character, sort of
But
thing.
at
You
the
might
same
have,
time, it's like it's time for that to happen.
oh yeah, yeah, of
Yeah.
course not a lot, but they're the only ones that you'd have more feeling towards. Like you've got that strong pull to them because you've known them for God knows how many bleeding years now.
25 years, basically.
Exactly, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I mean. So there's that heart there, but with these like this new brand of Avengers that lot, there's just nothing that lot, and it's like, what is the point? It's just
Yeah.
frustrating.
A lot of questions.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's all I've got for Doomsday. I guess the final thing is, does any of this change your excitement for it, or is there still some kind of, cautiousness around this movie for you?
It doesn't change my excitement. I'm still well buzzing for it. I still can't wait to see it. I'm gonna be there day one as
Yep.
always and snap them tickets up straight away.
Yeah.
But I need to know. I think I'll be a bit more confident, like you said, after Fantastic Four. After Fantastic Four, I'll be a bit more confident in what the process is going to be, sort of
Yeah.
thing, and what the end goal and the target's going to be towards that lot. Because until then, I'm like we said before, and we discussed on the channel, I'm just really worried they're going to rush this and it's going to be atrocious now.
Yeah.
Like since the Russos left Marvel, their track record has been absolutely atrocious.
It's not
And
great.
yeah, I've got all faith in the Russos. I think they've been brilliant directors that lot, and what they did for Marvel first time round, brilliant. So I'm hoping they can reharness that and then bring it forward, sort of thing. I'm praying.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a giant question mark until we know more. And I'm kind of the same way. I don't know if, like, I am excited for it just because it's Doctor Doom taking on the Marvel Universe, basically, but I need more questions answered. And Fantastic Four, I think, should have more of those
Yeah,
answers for us. It won't have all of them,
no,
but it should give us a bigger, I guess, perspective on if this is the doom of their world, how the jump will happen. It's all basically dependent on that movie. And it
Pretty
shouldn't
much.
have to be. That's an extremely short window to get excited. Well, for the general audience, that'll be fine. For fans, you're
Yeah.
like, you need a year of build up for this, and that's less than a year of build up. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah. Pretty much.
All right, so I guess we will move into Spider-Man 4. So, CinemaCon, I want to say it was Monday or Tuesday.
It was
Monday
Tuesday,
night.
and
Monday night.
yeah, Monday night into Tuesday, and I'll tell you why I was very cautious about this. But carry on.
All right, so Sony had their panel. They talked about Beyond the Spider-Verse, which they shared some key art for that. It looks beautiful. Like the animation they're doing for that looks amazing. So that's officially coming out. I want to say it's June 4th of 2027.
Year after in it, so
Yeah. So that and Secret Wars together, basically the same time of year, is going to be crazy.
yeah, just a bit.
Yeah. So they were talking about that. And then Destin Daniel Cretton came on stage to talk about Spider-Man 4 and revealed that it is now titled Spider-Man Brand New Day. So we have an official title for the next Spider-Man movie in the MCU. Tom Holland is back. They are starting production soon. And yeah, that's really all we know. It's July 31st of next year, so it's going to be midsummer by the time we get that. But what are your overall thoughts on the title?
Now, my first thoughts, because it was on April Fool's Day, I did not want to believe a thing
Yeah,
online.
I
I didn't
definitely
do
saw a
no
lot of that.
videos. Yeah, I didn't know no videos. I didn't want to believe anything. It wasn't until like I think the Wednesday and Thursday I'm like, oh, actually, this is actually real. This is actually true. I'm okay. I'll believe it now, sort of thing. Because I've been fooled too many bleeding times on April Fool's Day, and I was no sort of thing. But when I actually got over that initial like, no, this is a load of bull. It's April Fool's Day. Stop lying to me. It's not too bad. I don't mind it. I like the new sort of look of it, sort of thing.
Yeah, I think the title
It's
design is awesome.
it looks really nice. It sort of
Yeah,
like really stands out, sort of thing. So I'm sort of looking forward to that. But the only reason I'm looking forward to it is if it's grounded.
yeah.
That's the only reason I'm looking forward to it. And I don't want no sodding thing because I read something the other day in that lot as well that oh, you're always good about with actors' names. Kingpin.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah, he said something the other day that he can't actually appear in any Marvel films because of legal rights and stuff like that
Yeah,
sort of thing.
it's just
Which I was a bit
stupid
like,
Sony. Like,
yeah,
it's so
I
stupid.
was gutted, absolutely gutted about that. I was like, that'd have been the perfect opportunity from
Now,
whatever happens to this to go into that.
he's either hiding the fact that he could or it's true.
I think it's true. It's Sony in it. You're not being tight-fisted so and so's a lot like that. I'd believe it all day long. I really would.
So it makes no sense. Like,
No,
do you want to make
no,
money or not, Sony?
exactly,
Tell me. Do
exactly.
you want to make money or not? So
Just,
stupid.
oh,
So yeah, this title, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, very interesting. This is like a direct name of a comic run. So it's either they're pulling direct inspiration from that comic run, or it just happens to be titled the same with a few little similarities along the way. So some possible villains, and these are villains that are in the comic run, are Mr. Negative, Anti-Venom, Hammerhead, and a Green Goblin-esque character called Menace. The only character that would work if it's a grounded movie is Hammerhead. And there's no way you can
but
build an entire movie around Hammerhead for
no, what
that.
about Mr. Negative?
You could, but then you still have larger connections to like, oh, Doctor Strange could pop in to help him with that, or
Yeah,
some
that's
kind
true.
of magic user. With
Yeah,
Hammerhead,
yeah,
it's
okay.
purely in the street, so
Yeah, yeah.
Daredevil could show
Well,
up. Like any of those, Punisher could show up. Like, yeah, it's
yeah, no.
it comes down to what direction are they going with this? So I'll ask you, what kind of direction do you see this going?
For me, when I seen the title on Outlaw, and obviously like yourself, like comic book geeks we are, knew it would come from straight from a comic book
Yeah.
series in Outlaw. I was hoping they just literally directly take from that source material straight away in Outlaw, and that's why I thought or hoped that Mr. Negative would make an appearance in Outlaw, because I think that would be a nice tie into everything that's happened before and like on being Peter now and stuff like that sort of thing. I think that'd be a nice little villain. Like Mr. Negative's not that like out there or powerful to like Goblin or Octopus sort of threats,
Yeah.
but he's still a decent enough villain.
Yeah. And the
So
way the Insomniac games did him, he was amazing in that. So,
that's what I mean.
yeah. They could definitely do it.
Yeah, but it's again we all know what Sony's been like, and
Yep.
oh, it's got to be multiverse, and it's got all these characters, and we need to make money like that. I don't know.
So,
I really don't know. I'm hoping it's more directly from the source material. I really am, but what Sony's like all these bleeding days, I literally ain't got a sodding clue.
now, I haven't read Brand New Day. I have a general idea of what
Oh, yeah.
happens in it. And if anyone doesn't know, it's a story that comes off the heels of the most controversial Spider-Man comic called One More Day, where he goes to Mephisto and says, I want my wife to love me and, still be alive. And then he's like, oh no, what was it? He wants Aunt May back, so he takes away MJ. And then Peter's like, oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. So it's basically the premise of Spider-Man No Way Home, just without all of the other villains coming into it. So this is the aftermath of that comic event. And MJ's back. They're not together, though, from what I could tell from online. Something's going on with J. Jonah Jameson. He's at the Daily Bugle. There's all these random characters, like Jackpot is in it. And then, like I said, Mr. Negative is a big villain in it. Menace,
I'm
Hammerhead.
surprised you've not actually read this, to be honest. I didn't mind this comic book series, so I'm surprised you've not read this, to be honest.
I am definitely checking it out before the movie comes out.
Yeah, you got it.
It sounds like so much happening in it. Like, I don't think there's any way they could do a direct adaptation of this because it's like a more developed universe than what the MCU is. And especially with Spider-Man now on his own, he's basically starting from ground zero. And if you introduce all of that, it's like you've missed 5 years of his life after that's happened. You're like, what the hell happened between the ending of No Way Home and this movie?
So the best sort of way to describe it is it's very random and just like packed. It's probably the best way I can describe it, sort of thing.
It looks random from what I've seen. It's like, why, like, Anti-Venom, Hammerhead, like, Green Goblin characters? Like, what is happening in this? Yeah.
It's good, though. It's good. It is good. It's well worth a read, I gotta admit.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to check it out. It's just...
I didn't mind One More Day. I didn't think it was that bad. It was very random and that lot, but I didn't mind it.
I don't know.
Might be one I have to do on Comic Corner. That is.
I think read through it again and then see where your thoughts are at.
Yeah, I'll go admit it has probably been a good COVID time. I think it was the last time I read through it properly. So yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely one that a lot of fans are like, do not ever read this again, that kind of thing. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see what this movie turns out being. I really hope it's the grounded approach because with this being released after Doomsday and before Secret Wars, it could easily be either one. And with it being Brand New Day, it could allude to he's, a grounded Spider-Man. It's the new age of Spider-Man in the MCU. Or it's hinting at a battle world kind of thing, where it's the brand new day, new universe, like new environment. He's learning his way in this new world. He doesn't know what's really happening around him yet. which very well could be the case. And then that's how Sony gets their excuse to bring in whatever kind of multiversal character they want. Like, so stupid.
If they go the daft Sony way, the only way I want it to work, or it has to work, is if you're going to go on to Battle War and stuff like that, bring the black suit in. We know it's still technically in the MCU. They didn't retcon that bit. They made it look like they retconned it, but they didn't actually retcon it. So it is technically still in the MCU. So give it to us. If you're going to piss around and do that sort of stuff, give us the black suit because it needs to be done.
And knowing the Russo brothers, and they've said Secret Wars is their favorite comic like ever, there's no way they make Secret Wars without the symbiote suit. Like, they have to bring that in. And
Exactly.
you have to assume Destin Daniel Cretton is kind of consulting with the Russos. Like, okay, I've got this kind of going on. How would you link this in Secret Wars? What does Doomsday do that would affect this thing that I've got? Like, you have to assume they're working very close together.
Got to.
And if they aren't, then it's going to be very weird when you go from Doomsday to Spider-Man to Secret Wars without them knowing what's going on behind the scenes. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what this movie turns out being, because knowing what Sony has done in the past, they could easily just fully take over this movie, and Disney has no control over what they'll do.
Which, again, we know what Sony's like that lot, and they'll try and nitpick and demand these things like that just do not work. So you've got to hope to all God Almighty that they just listen to Marvel and just let them do what they need to be done. Because if they try and make it all convoluted and piss around with it, it's gonna backfire so right. And then I don't want this fourth Spider-Man to be the one that breaks the camel's back with Spider-Man a lot, because it can't. It really can't.
And that kind of leads into my next question. Does this begin a quote-unquote day trilogy? Like, we had the Home trilogy. Now we're going to get a day trilogy. So do you think this is the beginning of that new same kind of, like, the name is kind of carried out throughout the next 3 movies?
I don't know. I bloody hope not, because I can't even think of... What is it? Well, Brand New Day, One More Day, Last Day. They all sound shit.
The only ones I could think of is like Brand New Day, Snow Day, and Bad Day, or Bad Day at Work.
Bad
or
Day in the
like
Office.
That. Yeah.
Oh no, Brand New Day is perfectly fine. We'll have that, and then you can have started with a brand, like Brand New Home, Brand New City.
Don't bring Home back into it. Brand New Suit. I don't know.
Yeah, Brand New Suit. Yeah,
that would be so stupid. I'd hate the hell out of that movie if Spider-Man 5, and then you're like, what's it called? What's it called? Brand New Suit. It's like, okay, it's just you're telling us that you're getting more toys out of this is all it is.
Yeah, pretty much that. Look, if they try and think that Last Dance is good for Venom, they can name anything and think it's good.
Oh man, I hope they don't do that to Spider-Man. Brand New Girlfriend, because that's always something with Peter.
Yeah.
He's hopping all the time.
Brand New Gwen or something like that.
Oh man. But here's the other thing. Knowing that what's her name? Sadie Sink has been cast. There's a rumor that she's playing Mayday Parker from Tobey Maguire's universe. That she is Tobey Maguire's daughter, and she hops over to the 616. Which, no, I don't want that either.
No.
Yeah.
How does that even make sense? What? Well, because you've had not Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire come into it. Why even link them two together to go, oh yeah, just put her in it? What are they going to say? She's Penny Parker next time or something like that? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So I think we'll leave it there with a Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Yeah, I'm get frustrated with that crap.
Yeah. So, I guess we'll get into our segment of Hot Seat. Got our game of the episode. So how do you want to start this?
Do you want to... I'll go first. And do you want all my questions in one go, or do you want to take it question at a time?
Let's do all of them. I think
Right,
that's what we
okay.
did the last time.
Yeah, I think it was right now. So, right, so nice random questions, that lot, anything and everything. So, my first question to you, shut up, phone, is what is a 10 out of 10 film you have seen lately that can't pick any fault with it at all?
That I've seen lately. Like a new movie or just any movie?
Oh, good for any movie. Good for any
Okay.
movie, that lot.
I'm gonna have to pull up my letterboxed because
That's cheating, that is. Come on.
well, it's not cheating. I just I can't think of anything recently that I've seen. Okay, the last 5-star one I rewatched was Goodfellas.
Oh, okay. That's not a bad pick at
Yeah,
all, actually. I'll give you that.
masterpiece of a movie.
Yeah, that's nice. That's not what I was expecting, but that is really nice. I'll give you that. That's really good, that one.
Yeah.
Right, so my next question, that one. In your entire life, have you met anyone famous, from little famous to big famous?
Not anyone like an actor or anything. I met here in Canada. There's the CFL, the Canadian Football League, and I met the quarterback for the Ottawa Redblacks, Henry Burris.
Oh, that's famous. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's famous. I'll take that. Yeah, that's
So
nice.
yeah,
Okay, that's cool.
yeah, it was a cool interaction I
That's
had.
nice. That's nice. That like, I think most recently, it's got all based on YouTube. And that lot, I met somebody I've been looking up to for tried to meet for ages. His name's Adam Wilborn from What Culture on YouTube, and he does all wrestling and stuff like that. And I followed him when he did Dice with Death, was like a Dungeons and Dragons podcast, and I fell in love with it. It was a brilliant podcast, that lot. And I've got to meet him of my wrestling rave week and that lot, and I was
Oh,
just
nice.
buzzing to meet him and that lot. Absolutely buzzing, that lot. Bless him. So right, so if you won the lottery, what would be the? I've got a visual demonstration for this one.
Okay.
So, who would
Oh,
win?
Ultron and Thanos.
Who would win in a fight between Ultron Prime and Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet?
Did we not see Infinity Ultron split Thanos in half with all but no? Did he have all the
No,
stones?
no.
I thought he had all of them except the Mind Stone.
Well, he might have done actually. He might
Yeah,
have done in
so
What If, didn't
it's
he? Yeah,
Infinity
yeah.
Ultron then.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I totally forgot about that one, but yeah, I just wanted to give you a visual demonstration of that, just to see what you'd say.
I want to see Infinity Ultron in the movies. I think that would be
That'd be
awesome for
wicked.
them
That
to
would,
do.
wouldn't it? Someone like that, that'd be just. Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be nice. But yeah, that is my questions.
Nice. Yeah, you had a lot of tough ones in there.
I proper stumped you on some of them, didn't I? Like you
Yeah.
really were.
Yeah. All right, I've got my 6 now too. So, my first one for you. What is your favorite thing to do on a day off?
Oh, right. So if they was doing good, I'd either watch football or play football. But at the moment, they are doing absolutely terrible, and I don't want to. I don't want to watch football. I don't want to think about football. I don't want to do anything to do with football.
That's
Okay, it's
huge.
just yeah. Honestly, I am livid with them at the moment. That long, we are not doing good at all. It looks like we're going to get relegated. I'm just no. So the only other thing I could really like to do when I'm not doing anything a lot is read my comics. To be honest, so
Okay.
I've been doing proper geeky stuff and just reading with comics, and I'm making notes for some more comic corners and stuff like that sort of thing. So yes, it's nothing exciting to be honest. Just read my comics.
Well, I guess it kind of ties into my next question. So, which is better, comics or movies?
Oh, comics all day long,
Okay.
100% every single time that lot. I'm well, you've probably been watching that lot. The retro movie reviews I've been doing that lot. I try and link as much to the comics to the films as possibly can. And for me, the comics have more heart, have more storytelling ability. The visuals in the comics, even though obviously we've got all sorts of special effects you can have in films and TV and stuff like that, but I don't know, there's just more passion, there's more creativity in a comic book series now. So comics for me all day long.
Now, if you take this a step further, any movie, like all of movies as a collective or all of comics, not dependent on like their, adaptations into movies or anything like that. Just you take all of comics in one little pod, and then you have all of every single movie to come out. Which one are you choosing?
That's hard. That's horrible. There's two things that sway me more towards movies, and that's the original Indiana Jones trilogy and the Back to the Future trilogy. I'd I'd watch them all day long because I adore them. I'll skip Indiana Jones 4 and we'll get to 5 because that was really good.
Yeah.
But I have to, with that, I have to go to films then because I just love them. Absolutely love them a lot. I've got a little DeLorean and I've got a little hover, hover skateboard as well. And I love like
Okay.
collector's items and stuff like that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm a geek like that.
Nice. If you could go anywhere in the world for a vacation, where would you go?
Oh Jesus. Oh, right, I've always, oh, right, right. Comic book side of me, Universal Studios
Okay.
or Walt Disneyland. Just do all the Marvel stuff. Anything Marvel stuff like that, I could say that sort of thing. Normal side of me, I'd love to go Egypt.
Oh,
I
that'd be
love to
cool.
explore. I love to explore the pyramids. I love to explore the like tombs, the Sphinx. I'm a real big history buff and stuff like that sort of thing. I used to collect like the Egyptian scarabs, the mummies, figures, pharaohs, all that sort of stuff. I got about 3 binders worth for just massive Egyptian facts and history and
Wow.
stuff like that sort of thing. So I'd love to explore Egypt now, because I think that'll be a absolute like mind blowing experience just to like, see them there and that lot, and then I can like go into rabbit holes of, well, is it actual humans or aliens or stuff like that sort of thing. Yeah,
Yeah, it could kind of become your own Indiana Jones.
yeah. Oh, don't tempt me. I bleed love that. I was like, I can't go excavating. I want to go over here and dig a hole.
It belongs in a museum.
Yeah. And as all British people say, it belongs in our museum. Nobody else is that lot. We just steal
Yep.
everything and put it in our museum. So
Yep. The biggest thieves of the world's history.
UK, UK, UK.
Um, all right, my next one. Is there a food that confuses you? Like, why do people eat this?
Sushi.
Really?
Can't stand the stuff. Do not get why
I love
people eat it at
sushi.
all. That lot. No, cannot stand the stuff like that. I tried it. I then went to that Yo Sushi once on a date, and it did not end up well because I was in the toilet. I just, it was just wrong. It was absolutely wrong in that lot. As you can see, the date did not go well, but it was just wrong. Why people did pay? It cost me about, for mine and her meals, and them silly stupid bowls that cost God knows how much for different sizes and what you ever on them, that lot. Cost me a good 80, 90 quid in that lot.
Wow.
I
Yeah,
was like,
it is
what the
expensive,
hell?
but it's so good.
No, no. Tastes like having rubber half the time in that lot, and then the taste and the textures, and oh no, no, no.
Yeah, I guess it depends on where you're getting it from, though, too. If it's
Well,
a
yeah, probably a
professional
lot.
spot or if it's just like a pop-up one, like you want to try this sushi I got, but it's like just like
What
fish not even prepared the way it's supposed to be, and the veggies are raw. And
was that? Everybody was going on about this Yo Sushi now, like when it first appeared in Leicester. I thought, oh, go on then. I've got this date coming on. We'll go there. It'll be a nice experience, that lot. About 10 minutes in, she was like, "Look, I'll be back in a minute." I come back, try something else. I'm like, "No, no, sorry, see in a minute." Honestly, I was bad. I was really, really bad. It was not good. It was not good at all.
well, I still enjoy sushi. So, um, all right, next one. Have you ever walked out of a movie in frustration, like in the theater?
Right, there was two. There's two movies I've almost walked out on. I've never actually done it. I've never actually walked out of any movie I didn't like, anything like that sort of thing. There's actually a concert I had to walk out on, but I'll talk to that in a minute. Um, so the two movies I nearly walked out on. You're gonna hate me for it, but Black Panther.
I thought you were
I
sleeping in
almost
that one, so you can't
well,
walk
I
out of it if
slept.
you're sleeping.
I slept in it in that lot, and then so I got near the end of that lot, and I was like, "What's the point? I missed half of it. I might as well go home." But I stayed through it. I powered through, and then the other one, as soon as I found out that Crystal Skull was aliens, I almost walked out on that because it was just this is not Indiana Jones that I know it. Not a chance. Shia LaBeouf was doing my nutting all the way through that movie. Just no. They're the only two films I've ever like almost had to walk out on that lot. But I did have to walk out on a concert. It was the second set in it, and poor old Shane, he was only 12, 13 at the time in that lot, and it was a like DJ bloke called MC Lars, and it was a song he had of all puppets and stuff like that sort of thing called I think it was like This Gigantic Robot Kills, and it was like a robot like killing people and stuff like all in Play-Doh and stuff like that sort of thing. Shaney absolutely freaked, bless him. That lot. I had to take him out of the concert. I had to get him into one of the side rooms that lot and calm him down. And I missed his set, and then went back on for the actual people who were going to see in that lot. So I had to walk out of a concert because I had to go and calm my brother down, bless him. But that's about the only other time I've had to actually ever walk out anything. So
Okay. I've never walked out of a movie myself, but
and yeah,
yeah.
you've got to have come closer to some.
I can't actually think of any that like I'm very careful in the movies I choose to go see.
Oh, okay.
I do a lot of like I don't look at every review, but I get the general consensus of I guess the main outlets that I follow that do reviews
Okay.
for the movies, and if they're not great, then I'll say okay, I'll just wait till it goes on video. Um, but if it's like one that I'm super excited for, like I'll see every Marvel movie in the theater, no
Yeah.
question.
Apart from
Um,
Sony. Just
yeah,
leave Sony
yeah,
to one
except those
side.
ones, yeah. Um, yeah, the last Sony one I saw in the theater was the first Venom.
Really?
Yeah,
Is that long ago?
back in
Damn.
2018. So that
Didn't
tells
even
you
get to
where that's at.
Carnage.
Nope. Because
I
that
love
was in the
Carnage.
pandemic too, so like everything was
Oh yeah,
closed.
that was true. Yeah, that was true in that lot. I did like Carnage there. I really did like Carnage.
No, it's
Then it
dog
went
shit.
downhill.
It is so bad. All right, last question. Who do you think is the greatest actor of all time?
Oh Jesus, where?
You can narrow it down to three if you want.
Greatest actor of all time. Crying out loud. That's a deep one. That is. That's hard. That is really hard. I honestly can't think.
What about your favorite one? Doesn't have to be the greatest one, but your favorite actor.
I've always been a fan of Ian McKellen,
Okay.
just for because like Lord of the Rings, obviously X Men. Um, what else? Oh, of course. Oh, he's past, bless him as well. The he was Snape, and he was in
Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman. Yeah, absolutely adored him. I thought he was an amazing actor as well, and that all sort of thing. And then, what? Right, this is more for comedy, like just genius. That like, I thought he was absolutely brilliant, and that's Rowan Atkinson. The characters he's
Okay.
played, ah, so funny. And when I was younger, I get nicknamed. Well, there was two people I was nicknamed. I was nicknamed Mr. Bean because the slapstick comedy I could do when I was younger, that lot was just brilliant. I was always one to make fun of myself and show off and stuff like that sort of thing. And then the other one I used to get called when I was a kid was Lee Evans. He's like a comedian here and that lot. And again, the sort of slapstick comedy, sort of routine sketches he did in that lot were just legendary over here in that lot. You might have seen him in. Oh, no, it weren't Rush Hour. But he was a film. He was in a film with Jackie Chan,
Okay.
and he was brilliant in that as well, sort of thing. And yeah, I just them two for the comedy aspect. I was like just plucked from them. I copied, especially when I did drama at school as well. And I tried to take all their like daftness and like be able to trip up yourself and stuff like that sort of thing. I took it from like Rowan Atkinson and Lee Evans that lot. So, but yeah, Rowan Atkinson just legendary in that lot.
Nice. Yeah. I just the one that comes to mind for me is Denzel Washington. Like
Oh yeah,
fantastic. Like when Gladiator 2 came out, because he was in that, I was on a Denzel kick. Like I was watching so many Denzel Washington movies. He's
nice.
one of the best, I'd say.
Yeah, he's really good. But every time I hear his name out, like all I can think of is Anthony Mackie. Like, what do you want, Denzel or
Two very
cut the
different actors.
check? Yeah, it's just how he does his things when he's doing the takes. He's like, cut the check. It's just so funny. That lot. It's so good.
Yes. So I think that does it for our segment of Hot Seat. So I guess
Nice.
we'll end the episode there. A lot of very interesting questions that we had.
Yeah, definitely that lot. Proper random ones, but I love them hot seats ones. You literally talk about everything. That lot,
Yeah,
so it's
and you don't
brilliant.
know what you're gonna get too. That's why
Yeah,
like some of them
exactly.
you're so stumped on them because you
Yeah,
have no kind of preparation at all for it.
no, not at all.
Um,
Not like
so yeah, I guess we'll end the episode there. So, do you have anything dropping on your channel the next little bit?
So we've got obviously Midnight Suns every Monday in that lot. We'll have that coming up on the Wednesday this week. It is Thor: The Dark World retro review. So there'll be another one. We'll be having a very interesting chat about. Obviously Daredevil on
Yep.
the Thursday, and on the Friday is the last episode of the Lego Avengers, where we finish up with, for some reason, Ant-Man, not the Age of Ultron film, but Ant-Man is the last mission in it. So that is up on our channel coming up on this week. So what about yourself?
For me, I'm gonna try my absolute best to get kind of like a backlog of videos produced in the next little bit, so I have something to have release over the next few weeks. But other than potential stuff with that, I'm gonna be still covering Daredevil, so I'll have my episode 7, no, 8,
Yeah.
episode 8
Oh no,
review.
8 to 9. Yeah.
So my episode 8 review will be out on Wednesday, and episode 9 the week after, and then I'll have a review probably shortly after that as well, and then I'm sure we'll come together and review the show
Oh, massively.
after
Yeah.
that. So yeah, 2 more episodes. It's going to be very exciting.
Definitely. I can't bleeding wait. I can't.
Yeah, it's going to be electric. So yeah, I think that'll do it for today's episode. So if you have not already, please make sure to subscribe to my channel, Thwip Media, subscribe to Dwayne's channel, Marvel Mad, join the Project Assemble Discord server, and make sure to follow all of our social channels. And yeah, we will see you in the next episode.
See you in a bit, guys.